Yo, today I'm going to show you some hi-hat and snare techniques. These are meant to mimic different types of articulation that a drummer is able to get out of the snare head or the cymbal. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to find a nice long hi-hat. Now I'm actually going to clone this hi-hat 3 times. So I'm going to go clone, clone, clone. I'm going to rename this. This is going to be open, long, medium, short. And this is describing the length of the sample that we're going to cut these down. We're going to use these knobs in the sampler, the out and the length knobs, to trim the length of the sample. So let's keep open on the default settings in the sampler. I'm going to pull long up, and with long I'm just going to adjust the out knob, shorten the sample a little bit, and maybe I'll turn down the volume a few percent so it's slightly quieter than the sample we have labeled open. We'll pull up medium, also do some out trim, and short or lower the volume of that so it's a little bit quieter than long. And now we'll pull up short, do some out trim, and maybe do some length trim here too, make it even shorter, and then lower it so it's shorter than medium. So now we have these different flavors of the same hi-hat. There's, an open strike, kind of a fat, wide stick type strike. There's the short would be if you're hitting the cymbal with maybe just the tip of your drumstick. And you can play between these and sound like you're playing with different technique instead of having the same sample all hitting at the same volume, with the same articulation throughout the entire track. So listen how something like this would sound. And of course we can do something even more complex, maybe something like another thing that I would recommend is perhaps changing the pitch of these very slightly. And I'm talking like, minus 20 cents, 2/10 of a semitone kind of slight changes. So you could come in here, maybe grab short. We'll go, you can watch up here how many cents we're changing. Maybe we'll do minus 22. This would be like minus 10. And you might not even really be able to notice this, but it is making it so not everything is hitting at the exact same pitch. So we can use the same idea, basically the same exact technique on different types of drums, snares and shakers and stuff. Just do some of that with the snare. First thing I'll do is I'll clone this. I'm gonna name these, HH for hi-hat, so we don't get confused about what's going on here. We'll call this the snare long. We'll call this the, snare short. Come in here and just start looking for, maybe let's make our original snare just slightly longer. This had already been trimmed at one point, a little wider or longer, and then trim up the length of this, make it a little quieter, adjust the pitch maybe on 20 cents, minus 20 cents. now we have these two different snare kind of flavors. So this shorter snare can kind of be used in syncopated type positions and fills and stuff like and of course you can always go into the piano roll still. This is the short one, and make even more adjustments. Stuff like that. One more thing I want to show you is how to put these in the FPC with the same kind of idea. Let's do a shaker. It's going to be very similar to how we've been doing our hi-hats, except like I said, I'm going to show you how to put it in the FPC because it's a little bit cleaner of a way to look at it. You can get it all in one piano roll this way. So I'm going to find a nice long shaker similar to how we began our hi-hat process. And I'm going to open FPC. Go up here to this drop down arrow, presets, and we're looking for empty. Now drag out this shaker like this. I'm doing all four. Like I said, it's just going to be really similar to our hi-hat technique where we had 4 different lengths of this sample. And now we'll name them. So click this one on the right. You rename by right-clicking up here. And the way that we're going to adjust the length of the sample inside of the FPC, you don't have the in and out knobs or the length knob. So what we do have is this grid system over here, and this is a ASDR type grid. So if you've never used this grid in FL Studio before, it's pretty easy to understand. Let me just show you 2 examples. It's just defining the length of the samples. First thing you do is click this knob right here. This is going to activate the envelope. If I make it extremely short like this, or if I see it's like as short as possible basically. You can even make this wider and come in here. Now listen how short. It's like so tight you almost can't even hear it, and then but then if it's wide open, it will let you play the entire length. So that's just a quick rundown of how this works. So click open. Let's just activate this, and we don't want it to have like a long attack like this. So the first thing I would do is drag it over like this. Maybe pull it up. And let's go over like 6 squares. So that's about 6. Like that. And then let's copy this by clicking this arrow. Copy, go to long. Paste this in, and then make this just slightly shorter. Maybe we'll pull it over a couple and pull this down. So you can already hear the slight difference. And turn down the volume, which is this knob. Maybe change the tuning slightly. That's only 10 cents, but now take the this grid info here, copy this from long, go into medium, paste it, and now make a slight edit to this, shorten it up, maybe close it in a little bit, We want to adjust the volume, make it quieter. So we'll go like 65, pad tune, it's minus 18, that's fine. And then lastly, we will take this, copy it from medium, go over to short, paste, make it quieter. We'll go like 55, do some pad tuning. I don't want to be like too crazy with it, but something like that. And we gotta make it change the grid. Let's maybe make long a little tighter. Okay, and then in order to really get this to work properly, we have to change what MIDI notes these are playing on. So if you click open, come up here to MIDI note, select it, and just put this on C5, which is right here. And then we're just going to go downward. So long, that would be B4, medium would be the A sharp 4, and short would be the A4. So now when we go on our piano roll, we have them all right here. Let's just do like a new shaker pattern. So you could do something like get a simple drum pattern down. I like that, it's pretty cool. Okay, so it takes way too long to build the FPC from scratch every time. So what you should do is open the FPC, set up your MIDI notes, maybe preset some of the envelopes, and then go File, Save Preset As, save it as something you'll remember. So next time you want to do this, you can go right into that drop-down menu, pull it up, and real quick you can drag your samples in and be good to go. So I hope you found this technique useful. It's not really something that I've seen much out there. It's not incredibly complex or genius or anything, but it will help your percussion stand out, because it has that much more technique and attention to the articulation of the performance. And so I hope you find it inspiring, and I really like to use it. I think it's a great way to draw out your MIDI drums. At this point, I mostly use the FPC to do it, so I would recommend putting it in there. Alright guys, you know what to do, but please check out my music. I have a lot of original music. Check out my stream. It's all FL Studio streams.